Hi guys, welcome to this Money Control live stream. You're watching IPO Watch right here on Money Control. I am Nandita Khemka. Well, today we'll be focusing in on the IPO of NTPC Green Energy, which is the green energy arm of NTPC. It's a 10,000 crore rupee issue, and it will open for subscription on the 19th of November, which is tomorrow. As I mentioned, the company is aiming to raise as much as 10,000 crore rupees to the IPO. It will be the third largest of the year after Hyundai Motors India and Swiggy. And the entire 10,000 crore rupees will be raised via fresh issue. Well, to talk about the growth and expansion plans, I am joined by Gurdeep Singh, who's the chairman and managing director at NTPC and NTPC Green Energy, and Jay Kumar Srinivasan, who's the director of finance at NTPC and NTPC Green Energy. Gentlemen, great to have you on the show. Mr. Singh, coming to you first. NTPC Green Energy has been in existence for a little over 2 years, right? Take us through the journey. How has it really been for you guys?
Good morning and thank you for having us here. As you know that NTPC is the leading power generating company in the country and we supply 1/4 of the total electricity in the country. Keeping on the same pace, as you know that we are only in the power sector. And to take it forward as far as the transition is concerned or net zero is concerned for the Viksit Bharat, we had formed this company called NTPC Green Energy Limited. And our aim is to go up to 60 gigawatt by 2032. And as of now, we are working on approximately 26,000 megawatt. Out of that, 3,300 megawatt, 3,300 megawatt is commissioned. Construction work is going on at least about 12,000 megawatts. This year we are going to add another 3,000 megawatt, reaching to 6,000 megawatt by March. Next year we will be adding 5,000 megawatt, and by March 27 we will be reaching to 19,000 megawatt. And for this capacity, we have everything in place where land is there, evacuation is there, power purchase agreement is there, and the contractor, the EPC contractor is working at the construction site. So there is no uncertainty which is left in this. Going forward, we are working on a very large scale solar parks where we will be putting the gigawatt scale, like what we are doing in Khavda. We are putting 5,000 megawatt our solar plus wind, and we are working also on another 2,000 megawatts. So it's put together approximately 7,000 megawatts there. Similarly, in Rajasthan, in Maharashtra, in many other states, what we are working is making the joint venture and try to go for a very large scale project so that economy of scale is there. Also, the evacuation is specifically coming from that, like our conventional power projects. The problem what has been faced in the past is about the smaller projects where this really struggle for getting the evacuation. So putting all together, our business model is a little different than the rest of the other solar power developers. It is in the sites and it is in the forging alliances with the states.
All right, point taken. Mr. Srinivasan, coming to you, you guys are raising 10,000 crore rupees via fresh issue, and you've mentioned in the RHP that you'll be using 75% of the proceeds for debt repayment. I want to understand post that, how much of residual debt would you be having on your books, and what would be the debt to equity ratio?
Yeah, good morning. This equity issue and raise 10,000 crores of the proceeds are broadly meant for the massive capacity additions which we have planned for. But intermittently, for some time, probably we'll be retiring some of the costly debts. But going ahead, the company will make huge investments, which will require fresh debt raising also. But for the shorter duration, probably we'll be able to retire some of this costlier debts.
Okay, so no, if you could share a figure, a ballpark figure with us.
See, we have, as on September end, we have a debt figure of 17,000 crores. And with this fresh equity raising of 10,000 crores, on an immediate basis, our debt figure will go up to 9,700 crores. Then it will progressively again go up as we ramp up our capacity additions and raise fresh debts. We'll be essentially doing this on a
All right.
debt equity ratio of 80-20. So the debt figure will commensurately go up with the capacity addition.
Let me just add
All
one
right.
small point. This as this was explained by Mr. Kumar, that it is a transitory phase. It's not going to be for the longer duration. In fact, what our business plan is that we will be having the debt equity ratio of 4:1, and we are in a position to raise the debt at a very competitive rate because of our rating, which is AAA as far as domestic rating is concerned, and as far as the international rating is concerned, it's as good as the sovereign rating. So we are in a position to raise the capital at a very competitive pricing, and that's the reason I think we should be in a position to have the higher margins in comparison to the many of the other smaller developers.
Right. Mr. Srinivasan, you guys are also focusing in on green hydrogen as well, right? And the company is developing a green hydrogen hub in Andhra Pradesh and intends to commission grid-scale battery storage for round-the-clock power. Any timelines for this project, and how much have you really earmarked for this purpose? And will you be using any of the proceeds for this particular project as well?
No, this while some of the proceeds may go towards storage solutions based on the identified capacity, it was as far as the green hydrogen thing is concerned, where we are planning a hub, green hydrogen hub in a place called Pudimadakka in Andhra Pradesh. That would take some time, so we are only doing a preparatory work of land. We have taken the land, and we are working out the feasibility and the business modeling. But the current proceeds will not be going towards that on an immediate basis, but that will take a couple of more years for equity to be poured into the green hydrogen thing.
So primarily the present one will be
So you'll be
going
raising
into
funds for that separately.
That would be good. So our immediate target would be for ensuring the financial closure for the capacity additions which we have planned up to FY 27. That is to the extent of 26 gigawatt.
All right. How much hydro capacity are you planning to commission over the next 5 to 7 years? A broader range?
So let me come for a minute. As I was just explaining that there is a large capacity which is under construction and in the development. So our immediate target is that by March 25, we will be reaching to 6,000 megawatt. By March 26, means next year, we will be adding 5,000 megawatt, so it will reach to 11,000 megawatt. And by March 27, this will be another, in that financial year, it will be around 8,000 megawatt, overall reaching to the commission capacity of 19,000 megawatt by March 27. And of course, at that point of time, there will be much more capacity which will be under construction, as was being explained. And our business plan, what we have put in is that by 2032, we will be having a capacity of 60 gigawatt, that means 60,000 megawatt. But recent developments which are happening on the battery storage, as you were asking, then something related question, that we have seen a sharp correction in the battery prices, and we have already started the process of bidding, and we have received the bid for 1,500 megawatt hour, and we will be putting in some capacity on the storage side also. So immediately the solar plus wind, but now there is a start of the investment into the storage capacity also. In addition to the battery, there will be investment into the pump storage projects also. But the hydrogen projects, the additional investment apart from the land will only start taking about 3 to 4 years at least, as there is a lot of work for the design and engineering
Hmm.
of those projects.
Right. Got it. Mr. Singh, we have quite a few established players like Adani Green and Renew Power as well, and some of them are your listed competitors. How are you really positioned for future growth in light of stiff competition? Do you have any game plan in place for that?
Yeah, I think I did mention that our strategy or our business plan really envisages that we will be going for a large scale renewable energy parks. And as I just mentioned, that our work is going on in Khavda, which is in Kutch, Gujarat, where we are working on 5,000 megawatt of our own renewable energy park and additional 2,000 megawatt for the others renewable energy park. Similarly, there is a joint venture agreement what we have signed with Rajasthan to go up for 25,000 megawatt capacity. And for that, there will be a government land plus some private land. And let me just mention here that there will be little private land which we envisage to buy, so that it will be a very, very long-term value creation also, because there is going to be further developments in the renewable sector which is going to happen. Similarly, with Maharashtra, we have the two joint ventures. One is with the generating company, the other one is the another company called Mahapreet. We are also progressing very fast with the state of Andhra Pradesh and similarly with the other states. We have the joint ventures with the IOCL, ONGC, DTC, and so on. So there is a completely kind of advantageous business model what we are having. And as I just mentioned that our cost of funding because of our rating is far more competitive than our other kind of players into this. There is no reason that we will be in a position to go very aggressive on this. And this company called NTPC Green Energy Limited will be moving very fast, and it will be having the similar kind of position what NTPC enjoys in the power sector.
See, one of the very essential
Before I come
input
to the
in
financials, sure. Please go ahead.
one of the essential inputs in all this massive capacity addition, particularly on solar side, is the availability of land. So, the joint ventures which we are doing on gigawatt scale with the Rajasthan, Maharashtra, it is expected that the state government will have a better control over land availability, and so that should benefit. That's the advantage that will come to the table in forging a partnership with these big states.
Okay, that was about the land availability and also the fact that the cost of funds on that front, you guys are pretty comfortable. But one more thing before I come to the financials, you guys are aiming to invest up to 1 lakh crore rupees in solar and wind assets by FY27. Would you be approaching the market for or raising funds for that anytime soon?
No, for whatever is the capacity addition which Cindy was mentioning up to 2017, all the inputs are, or rather 27, all the inputs are in place, and the equity requirement for that stands fulfilled because already we have capitalized around 7,500 crores into the company, and with this fresh equity of 10,000 crores, and also the internal revenue generation that will happen from the operational assets, I think that should be sufficient to take care of the equity requirement for the next 3 years. Going ahead, we will of course will have to
And
as we
how is
expand more.
demand? Sure, please go ahead.
No, so as we go ahead and further ramp up the capacity up to 60 gigawatt, we will be tapping the market once again, because in any case we'll have to dilute up to 25% within the next 3 years as per the SEBI requirement. And we'll also have a steady
Right.
stream of commissioning of the plants, which will also will add to the healthy stream of internal resources. So all this will ensure that the NGL is to a self-generating revenue generating model to sustain its own capacity addition.
How is demand really shaping up, especially for the solar and wind energy consumption? Mr. Singh, if you would wish to take that up.
Yeah, I think as far as the demand is concerned, demand is a very, very healthy. And as far as renewable is
Hmm.
concerned, there is a complete push and because most of the discoms are not able to meet their even RPOs, what has been prescribed. So there is enough appetite to move forward. In fact, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, in association with Ministry of Power, have been always working then towards how to accelerate this capacity addition. And I'm happy to share with you that as far as the power demand is concerned, this is very, very healthy demand. There was a time of about the second quarter where there was a widespread rain across the country. So that was the best of the thing for the overall economy. But now again, there is a very good increase in the demand which has started happening. And let me share that there is going to be a requirement for the peak, which is even much more than a kind of important from the grid point of view. And that will also require, along with solar, there is some battery storage for about 2 to 3 hours or the pump storage. And we are looking at the investment for both the sectors into the storage arena. And this will require the huge investment. And our plan, what I just mentioned about the 60 gigawatt by 2032, we are confident that we should be able to reach to that level much before 2032, maybe by 2030 itself.
Okay, quite an ambitious plans, and you are also confident that you're going to achieve that before the prescribed timeline. But let's talk about the financials now, Mr. Srinivasan. Coming to you, financially, the company is on a very strong footing. It has recorded strong progress this fiscal itself. You have achieved 51% of last year's revenue within the first half alone. What are the revenue targets you are working with? Would you expect this year's revenue to surpass last year, and by how much? And over the next 5 years, are you working with any set targets in your mind?
See, we have, as I was mentioning to you, that a commissioning plan of 3 gigawatts during the current year, followed by 5 gigawatt in the next year, and 8 gigawatt in the year financial year 27. So we have quite a healthy PAT margin, as you must have noted, around 17%. So this will give a steady stream of profitability to the company and also improve the cash flows significantly, and that this will come along with the economy of scale in the sense that the cost will also optimize with greater capacity additions. So all this will bring a lot of improved cash flows for the company.
All right, point taken. Just a few risk factors that I want to discuss before I wrap up for the day. You guys rely on imported solar panels and components without really having to secure long-term contracts. Do you foresee any kind of supply chain disruptions that could have an adverse impact going forward and could pose a threat to your expansion plans?
So let me just come in on this question that till last year, there was a lot of concerns about the module availability, but thanks to the government's initiatives that there is enough capacity which has come in the country, and today we have the capacity of around 50 to 60 gigawatt of the module. And as per the policy of the ALMM, everyone, irrespective whether it's a government company or a private company, everybody has to buy the modules from that approved vendors. Some risk factor about the cell. which is still, I think, hovering around 8 to 10 gigawatt capacity in the country. But the contribution of the cell is around 5 to 7 cents per watt, which is, even if there is a little higher cost, that is not going to derail anybody's plan. But this is generic issue. So the two main risks for the solar projects, which are the land and the evacuation. What our strategy is ensuring is that land is available, land will be available in association with the state government, and the evacuation. Once we are having a good size of around 2 to 3 gigawatt, then the cooling station comes to the solar park itself, rather than you have to find a place to connect your evacuation of under 200 megawatt into the existing cooling station. So, because of our size, because of our kind of capacity, we have been able to de-risk most of the things into this.
Right. Last question really, another risk factor is the timely execution of projects. While you did mention earlier that, you're facing challenges when it comes to smaller projects, but how do you really plan to overcome this and strengthen your execution capabilities going forward?
Yeah, so let me, I think, take a little more time than this answering this straightforward your question. See, you know that we had been putting our conventional plant, which is much more complex than the solar this power project. And we had not been in the EPC space or manufacturing, and that is by design. Because what we believe is that our expert team, what we have invested heavily in the last 10 years, and we have the core competency starting from the engineering, starting from the design and construction, inspection, commissioning, and the further operation, along with the commercial expertise, is ensuring that we are able to get the project on time, and we don't get kind of attached with one of the agency, and if there is a failure of that agency, then your whole program gets jeopardized. So in our case, once we design our plant, and we select the party, which is basically then on the credentials of the qualifying requirement. In all certainty, it works. But in case some of the agency fails, we are able to change that agency. We can bring the other agency into that, and we can get the work done because the design and engineering is from our side, which is not possible for the smaller players.
Got your point, Mr. Singh. On that note, I would like to thank you, gentlemen, for taking out time and joining in this morning. And I'd like to wish you all the best for your IPO issue as well as the subsequent listing, which will be happen next week. Great to have a chat with you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that was the management of NTPC Green Energy on their upcoming IPO, which opens up for subscription tomorrow and will be open throughout 22nd of November. And of course, the listing will be happening next week. But with that, we've come to the end of this edition of IPO Watch. Thanks a lot for tuning in. But you guys stay tuned to Money Control for all your other news and updates. Thank you.